go live. I believe we are good to go. Yeah, the things are turning. Hello, everyone. So, interesting 2 days to say the least, Thursday and Friday. All right. So, I see a comment in there asking to look at AI and EV stocks. I can easily do that. My plan is basically to start on the indices. I'll switch into a little bit of the phone FOMC, yeah, FOMC meeting. All right, so this thing's in a few days. I'll give some thoughts there. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of go into the ticker. So let me lift my computer a little bit, my screen. Okay, lovely. So, um, I don't even really know what to think of why this happened. There's one thing that I saw. I think I saw something about a jobs number release that wasn't that good. I don't think it was horrible based on just kind of like the quick headlines. A lot of people are kind of starting to infer it's a little bit of like election fears, all right? And I think it's a fair comment, and I've been saying it on the Discord. I've been saying it just with friends and stuff. If when. Okay, and this is basically the comment right here. Where is it? I can't. Is it one? This one. Look, political opinions aside, it's a wild amount of uncertainty if he wins or if he loses, and maybe that's what happened here. Again, I think the jobs numbers is maybe the most data driven reason. I think election worries are a logical concern, and it's interesting to me because, again, this is definitely after the election. This is going to happen in 4 days. We're 3 days away from the election itself, right? So it's just after it. There is still 98% probability that it's going to ease, right? 1.1 something percent that it's going to go up. Again, this is nothing more than an opinion. This is some group. It does seem like a lot of people reference this link. I've done it before. I'll throw it in the chat as well. Can I do that actually? Let me see real quick. Dun 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 dun. I think you guys get it by me doing that. But yeah, this should make this a big green candle. You know what I mean? If we're coming into it expecting rate cuts, we're coming into it after we just got a bigger rate cut than we expected, and another, like, it's oh man, I don't know if it really is election. And again, I'm not here to tell you who I'm going to vote for, if I'm going to vote this or that, right? But we saw the 6th, right? The January 6th, this and that. I don't know if we're going to see something good. I have no idea, right? And again, I'm here less talking about politics, more trying to guess what happened, right? On the technical side, okay? On the technical side, we've been here before. We lost the 50 really badly, and we lost the 50 really badly. To me, there's kind of two ways you can say it, right? That's an interesting doji, and that's a bad candle. Generally speaking, that might actually be enough for me. You can say this was the first real candle, wasn't confirmation, and then hey, we did recover, right? And obviously, hindsight is 2020. For me, I think a little bit is like this one failed, and it was this like orbit of the 100 that basically caught it. You know what I mean? Like, this was a bad one under it. We gapped down. We're now officially under the 100. Never confirms, bad candle, never confirms we're back, right? This one was the orbit of the 100, if that kind of makes sense right there. This one doesn't really go under it, but again, it's kind of the orbit of the 100, right? To me, this was a loss of the 50. This was the 100 doing better than this time, right? It doesn't even let it go down. It just kind of uses the force for the Star Wars people and just kind of holds it up, right? So I'm expecting something like that. I'm like, we lost the 50 kind of badly. We lost the 50 kind of badly. It stays a little horizontal here before we lost it. So, hey, maybe it'll kind of do that. But I think we're going to lose that pretty badly. And to me, look, the one thing that kind of says, no, I might be wrong is this RSI. So the RSI to me should be extremely textbook when you're talking about the indice, right? Or an index, excuse me. Like RSI, like textbook numbers are 30 is the bottom, 80 is the top, 30 is the bottom, 80 is the top, and you just kind of ping pong up and down, healthy cool downs, healthy this and that, right? We're at a 31. So like healthy RSI textbook index, excuse me, I keep pluralizing that, like this should turn around, right? But I don't like this divergence on the MACD. It's kind of the same one on the RSI. Not negative just yet, but oh man, I think I'm assuming this is going to come down. This is going to keep going lower as well, all right? The one thing, I'm trying to just zoom back out and zoom back out. Yeah, there really aren't too many moments where we're actually under a 30. Let's just use that point down there. Yeah, right? Like I think a 26 is pretty much the average of the low, right? Obviously there's some lower points, but yeah, we really don't go much lower than this low 30, high 20. You know what I mean? So I think a little bit of that makes me think, okay, maybe the 50 will do the job and we'll get back up, right? But yeah, at the minimum, this S&P 500 is scaring me. It is, you know? This Dow Jones is scaring me. The Dow Jones has been a lot more downtrendy and all the way at the same, 50 moving average point, right? Like it feels like the S&P 500 did this like out of the blue dump, right? And hey, maybe you can kind of call that an anomaly. I don't like seeing the way that the Dow Jones is at the same place, but a lot more steady than, sudden and maybe outliery. You know what I mean? From there, when we look at the NASDAQ Comp Q, kind of the same story as the S&P 500. I think the one thing that I don't want to say I like, because obviously we're not in a good place, right? But there's a little bit more of a technical reason here. Look, we tried to break the golden line. We tried to break the golden line. It is not easy to break a golden line. Look, again, I always bow down and give the respect to these 5 lines. When we're over the 5 lines, the goal is I better be clicking some good resistances, right? And hey, this was a golden one for a reason. Got over it once, couldn't confirm. All of a sudden, we're like nowhere near it, right? So why was that one a golden one? Top of the green candle right there. Now, this one might be a little bit easier because, again, there's no like little wick here or something, right? But yeah, if there was a wick, I wouldn't care. That's basically all-time high. And look, let's be honest. You can see it's actually not even a great line. The close was actually 1864 something. Oh, it's not that bad. It was only off by a couple bucks. I saw a little bit of green on the top, but nonetheless, hard to break the all-time high lines. This makes sense on the technical side. Like, I'm not trying to pretend my click is as good as the 200 moving average. That was a 200 moving average fail reaction, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So as I'm looking at all 3 indices being a little bit scary, and I think one more thing to add. So again, with the S&P 500, there's a little bit of me that's thinking, we're down to 31. Maybe there's some room for this thing to recover. Maybe this 50 moving average. There's a little bit of harmony to think, both can do the job. I don't like the fact that we have a 43 on the RSI. Like there's still a lot of room for this to come down before we even get to the 30s, right? The one positive it does have is we have 2 moving averages pretty close to each other right there. You know what I mean? So hopefully this does not go any lower than 17,800, roughly speaking. If we lose 17.8, that will be very, very scary for the tech stocks, all right? So I'm about to do the EVs and AIs because, again, that was in one of the comments. But, yeah, when I'm looking at a scary NASDAQ that seemingly has a little bit more room to go down on the RSI, that's a little bit worrisome for me when I think of tech, especially when you add the fact that the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones are a little bit rough, all right? The one positive thing I'll kind of end it on is they each have a support point, right? Like there's clearly a spot right here that we're hoping that the NASDAQ catches and does the job, right? There's clearly the 50 moving average right here on the S&P 500. There's clearly the 50 moving average right here on the Dow Jones, right? So the supports are there to make the recovery as early as Monday. I think I'm a little worried about that and going in, all right? One more time, I think it's crazy that I'm worried given the fact that the probability that this website, again, I'm not affiliated with it. I'm not even paying for anything. I'm not even logged in and I can see all this information, right? I have never even signed up, to tell you the truth. If I clicked here, there's no like auto thing. This site, which has actually been pretty good on the last few calls, this is giving me an almost 100% chance that it comes down. You know what I mean? So That's not too shabby right there. That really isn't. You know what I mean? So there's at least no hike and a very small 1% we just stay at the same place, right? So this should be a very good thing, but the fact that it isn't is a little worrisome, all right? So I think this is gonna, sorry, I'm grabbing a pen so I can chapter this thing. This is a good place to stop the indices. This is 1040. So I'm gonna do AI and EV next. Ryan, I see your two tickers. I'll do a viewer request after we get to there. Trevor, I would love to do a face reveal. I just don't want my job to get mad at me. You know what I mean? So secret identity for now, and we'll see where the years take us. You know. So let's jump into let's do EV first. All right, we're gonna start at the top and work our way through. Right. So coming into Tesla, look, I'm not here to brag about my lines. You know, I really don't do that. I just said it. I'm gonna say it one more time. When I'm over all 5 moving averages, it's a little hard to use the moving averages, right? Like when this gapped up, my line was significantly lower, and like I'm into no man's land, no woman's land for the ladies out there, right? So you need to put some time into support and resistance lines. That's for sure an important part of the game, all right? That's a good candle. That does not get over the line, all right? This is a great candle that got over the line beautifully. Man, this is a hard candle right here. Obviously, at the bare minimum, a red one's not a confirmation, right? So you can't come into this and think to yourself, it's fine. It's over the line, we're good. But what I just said is a thing, right? This thing actually does still close over the line. I'm telling you, this used to happen to me. You can't let it, you need that confirmation. It's like the backbone of all these videos for a reason, you know? Beautiful candle, could not confirm. All of a sudden we're back under, and now actually under the 8 moving average, right? Look, if you watch my videos, you know as long as you're over the 8 and the 20, it's okay, right? The concern simply is the 8's all the way up here, and then all the way down there is the 20, right? You're losing not quite $20, so it's not a full 10%, but that's roughly a 5% drop all the way down there. You know what I mean? It's about a $10 drop, give or take, and no one wants to lose 5%. You know what I mean? So, hey, over the 20 is at least still a real good thing. And hey, it's only a single candle and not even a real big bad candle under the 8, right? My concern is NASDAQ. My concern is the ocean of the technology stocks all of a sudden has these big waves, and it's starting to get really scary. And hey, I don't know if you watch Deadliest Catch, but there's some times when they can't go fishing out there. They got to just come inside and wait, right? And I think I got to give respect to NASDAQ and S&P 500 unless on Monday they recover. Like there is no wiggle room in that come Monday. You can make the argument that Thursdays and Fridays are kind of like insignificant days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is like 80% of trading. You know what I mean? Thursday, Friday is just kind of is there, right? So Tesla, it looks like a 5% drop more than anything. It looks like I drew a pretty good line right here. You know what I mean? And if it felt wrong, I would have adjusted it and this and that, right? But yeah, I think for now, my expectation is actually get over this line. It's actually a little bit less about the 8 moving average than it normally would be, all right? Where are we on the weekly? So this is an interesting weekly, right? You can barely see it because this line, 236.50. 236.50. That's pretty much exactly where, look, 236.55, right? My line I think was at like 49 if I'm not mistaken, right? So you're basically, no, not an alert, duh. All of a sudden I got an alert. I got to delete. I'm not going to adjust the line again, but one of my lines was good enough to basically mirror on the weekly, and I love it, right? It feels like this is kind of inevitable. Like we are, and I struggled with inevitable right there. We try, even back here, we try to break the 200, we couldn't. We tried to break the 200, we couldn't. We try to break the 200. It seems like we're going to couldn't one more time. You know what I mean? And Man, I think I'm taking a little bit of a negative thought to a lot of this because of what the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 look like. I'm telling you, when those three look bad, I always add a blanket of concern, all right? From there, let's look at Polestar. I think Polestar kind of is one of the bigger volume ones. And I mean, look at this thing, right? Polestar at the moment is holding on to the last moving average for dear life. And I know that sounds grim and bleak, and like, believe me, I'm not here to hate. I'm not here to worry. I'm not here to like, FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty. Like, my concern is if we lose this blue line, this 100 moving average, the last of the five, green, 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 green will be a fast red, 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 red. I don't think 80 something cents is going to hold it. I think it's going to fall from a $1.14 down to below 70 cents. That's a potential 50% drop if it happens. Because again, like, I'll draw the line and quickly delete it, right? But from here you can see it, and I'll even zoom out. Look at this channel. My goodness. Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, green, green. Red, red, red is a sincere fear if we lose the 100 moving average right here, right? So I would easily call that our death line. If this loses $1.07, oh man, it feels like this is gonna lose a hot 30% from there, all right? Polestar has me worried. I think that obviously echoes the indices. We'll look at Lucid. Lucid looks horrible. This is, you break all five up and you fly, fly, fly. You lose all five down. You die, die, die. This thing went from 3 something. We're already at 2 something. I realize the RSI is an extremely low 7. I have seen 0.8, 0.9. I've seen ones for days. This looks bad to me. Oh man, this is also, let's delete all the lines. Let's delete all the lines. Let's put this right here. Let's color it red. Okay, I'm so glad I drew this. So what's happening right now is we are battling with the confirmation of losing all-time low support. Clearly, we actually are in all-time lows. This $2.20 is the lowest the stock has ever been. To me, we're not in all-time lows just yet. We lost the line. We didn't confirm it. All right? There's a good chance that we'll actually make another run all the way up to 240. That's actually a 10% gain. You fall away from the 8, you come to the 8. You fall away from the 8, you come to the 8. That said, if Monday goes down, this will lose 20%, then lose 20%, and keep losing 20% until, for no reason at all, some miracle just saves this thing. All-time lows is a black hole vortex that eats your money 20% at a time. We haven't technically confirmed it just yet. Oof, it feels scary. NASDAQ looks like it's not getting any better. This 7 RSI can go lower. Let's even zoom out and see. Oh, this was a while ago. This was still this year. This year, January 18th, 2024, the RSI got as low as 1.17. All right. Good. Be careful here. All right. Be careful here. What's another EV to look at? EVGO was crushing it. Where is EVGO? Whoa. EVGO just ran the lines. EVGO just bouncing on the 8 moving average like a champion. EVGO has slipped the 8 and is at the 20. It would be very scary to lose the 20 only because the 50 is all the way down there. Green, 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 green can make that a very scary red, red, red. I would be worried if this goes below 750. Clearly, this one's the outlier of these, but yeah, this is not that bad. I'll do charge point as the last one. No, wait, CRG, is that what it is? Charge point, CHPT. Damn. This looks like Lucid. This looks like Lucid. This looks like Lucid a lot. Let's delete the lines and let's draw it. Oh man, I don't even know where to draw it. Truth be told, I probably would have drawn it there. Drew it. Oh, that is the line. That's the line. I don't think it's this. I don't think it's this. I think it's that. Now, here's the question. Okay. Okay. You know, give me a second. So, was it SoFi? No, it was High Tide. Not okay. Damn, I can't find an example. Okay, what was the ticker I was just looking at? CHPT, ChargePoint. Sometimes I see uptrends even though they don't confirm. All right, this is a downtrend under all-time lows even though it hasn't confirmed. All right, what does that mean? That's a scary candle. That candle right there actually does just barely close under the line. That's a doji and that's a scary candle after. In a lot of ways, you can say that's confirmation. To me, this is the first bad one, no confirmation. Bad one, no confirmation. Doji don't count, that don't count. That's a bad candle, no confirmation. We are under all-time lows, under all 5 moving averages. We're just not quite down the vortex hard, if that makes sense. That said, man, was it SoFi? Yeah, okay. You can say that is confirmation right there, but this is a good example. Look, that's a great candle. That's not confirmation. None of those are. That's a good candle and that's a gap up. That's probably the real confirmation. But again, even from there, that's a whole mess of just like in between. I don't even know what the word is. You know what I mean? But you can make strong uptrends even though you don't confirm the break of all the moving averages as strongly as I really want you to do. You can still work your way down the black hole vortex of all-time lows even though you don't confirm as badly. To me, 132 is this all-time low line. And it does kind of seem nope, too dark. Can't see that one. It does seem like we're well under it, but yeah, we might make a decent return to it, and you can kind of see it. We're actually kind of living with the 8 and the 20. I think we're either going to make a real move back to it and try to actually break it, or the bad indice is just going to push us down, all right? So that was a good... I'm going to throw those two with Ryan's in the viewer request. That's the EV set. Oh my God, we're already at 22 minutes. My wife's probably home already. Damn, that's my problem with this thing. Palantir. Let's look at Palantir. Yo, this is beautiful, all right? This broke the golden all-time high line, all right? Clearly there were higher numbers, and I get that, right? But when you go from a $32 break all the way as high as a 45, that's a 50% move from the golden line. I'm not here to say I'm the best at drawing lines. I'm not here to that's not my game, right? But when you break a golden line, good things happen. When you lose a scary red death line, bad things happen. You know what I mean? And oh man, I'm here making it sound simple for a reason, all right? Palantir is what I was looking at, PLTR. So, no, what is this stock though? I don't like this one. Volume's way too low too. Ignore PLTR. So, this is a little worrisome, right? And the easy reason is simply green, 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 red, red, red. There's a little bit of a line. This is probably the line. Top of this guy right here, bottom of that guy right there. We're pretty much living at that line. You can say we have a doji at that line, right? I'm not going to draw it. I don't think it's strong enough to actually draw, but right now we're either going to lose the 8 and the 20 and fall all the way down here, and maybe this will hold. Maybe 39.25 will hold. I think coming down below 40 makes more sense to me, but if we can get back over, I think $44, I'm actually clicking at 30. Let's move our golden line to right there. Let's do that. I probably shouldn't have moved that. Can I control Z? No, there's no go back. Damn, I really wish I knew what that line was. Whatever, it happens. If we can get over that line, that's going to be a good line. And that's going to bring us another, I don't want to say 50%, but yeah, to me, like I just said, if you lose on the other one 20% chunks, you break on this one, you'll get 20% chunks, all right? I like I would love Palantir over this. At the moment, it seems like we're going to come down to the 50. I think that echoes QQQ, right? QQQ is basically at the 50. That's going to be identical to the NASDAQ, right? So I think it makes sense that that's going to come down. I think the one thing to say is EV has been doing a little worse than AI. You can just see it. Like probably should start with NVIDIA, duh. But hey, NVIDIA looks a little stronger than Tesla, right? Huge gap up from earnings. And hey, to me, it was this earnings that saved it from probably going down and down. And hey, that's the power of earnings, you know what I mean? But NVIDIA looks stronger. NVIDIA does not look like the NASDAQ, which is already down here, right? So I'm looking at this side of tech looking a little better than that side of tech. However, I have to respect the whole ocean, right? So NVIDIA and Palantir are actually exact same thoughts. To me, it makes more sense that we're going to come down to the 50 moving average. Maybe there's a strong candle above it. This one kind of says like a $1.28. Maybe that'll save it, but yeah, I gotta believe we're coming down there. You know what I mean? So I'll throw AMD here. I think AMD is well worth being. Man, listen, AMD is a big, important stock. AMD for sure should not be compared to Lucid. AMD for sure should not be compared to ChargePoint. AMD has the exact same thoughts as those. When you're under all 5 moving averages and you give me 2 big, bad, scary red candles, and the next line down I got is here, and I'm just seeing, right? Let's just draw this and I'll delete it. Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 nothing, nothing, nothing. How can I not think we're coming down to a $1.23? Maybe a $1.30 will save it. Maybe around down here will save it, right? But I'm looking at a stock under all 5 moving. You know, I haven't used the word death cross, but I feel like there's been so many death crosses across all of these, right? 8 death crossing under that. It feels like by Monday, I'm guessing the slope, right? But this is probably going to open here. By Tuesday, we'll probably death cross those lines, right? So it's hard to assume good things with AMD. This one clearly looks a little worse than the other ones too, right? I remember when NVIDIA and NVIDIA and AMD, I think this was maybe before the PS5 launch, they were like, oh man, neck and neck. And I had a buddy at work, we were talking about which one should we get and blah, blah, blah. We got neither, and I don't live in a good place. But again, I was a sophomore trader back in the day. What are we going to do? I'll take a look at, what's another good AI one? I want to get into the viewer request too. I got Ryan's and a couple from 2023 Gainer. What's another good AI? Let's look at AI. Duh. Let's just do that real quick. Oof. Look, I never like a stock that's in all 5 moving averages, right? You hear me call it a tornado. You go from the bottom to the top, to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom. I think I have to assume the NASDAQ's going to not do well. S&P's going to not do well. The death line here, and I don't want to call it a death line necessarily. No, I think I do. I think what I'm going to do is raise this to here, unless I can zoom out and really believe in that line. No, look, that's right there. This is our line. Okay, I think that's a little too close. Oh, I hear my wife. My wife is here. She just started the dryer. All right, I got to cut this quick. I think if this loses 2370, that's going to be pretty scary here for AI right there. All right, so I'll call 2830 the EVAI sector. And now let's run through some viewer requests. I'm doing all right. Yo, thank you for asking. Life's been a little tough on this side, but hey, fighting through, man. That's the goal. How are you, by the way? Let me know. I hope you are well as well. Hopefully you're actually better than I am. Let's look at MRO, and then Ryan, I'll take out. Okay, so I didn't know the ticker when I saw it. Listen, I still am looking at the war headlines. I saw something where I think they denied UN access help or something. Again, I'm not here to get political. I'm not here it's ugly to look at the bad of the world and try to make money in the stock market. All right, I know how horrible and ugly it sounds. Oil is an amazing place to look at with a wildly uncertain, election around the corner, and then what feels like a World War III, I have no idea going on. Oh, I for sure got to check out Game and AMC. Damn, my wife's going to get so angry at me. She hopefully hears my voice and will knock on the door if I'm going too long here. But let's... I had a beautiful Halloween. Hey, I'll be on. You know what? We had to put our kitty down on Halloween. My voice is gonna crack. It was beautiful. It really, really was. Oh, I'm gonna cry right now. Fuck. This is where I think I gotta end it. No, I'm gonna keep going. That is the answer though. Watch oil for the war. Your money line is 28 bucks, almost on the dot actually right there. If this breaks 28, this will fly. I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to set an alert maybe at 28.13, just a little higher. I think 28 ain't that bad. Oh, my boy. Yo, hey. Let's check out, what was your other one? EXT. What's wrong with EXT? Ryan, hey, let me know if you had a typo or you see something. EXT, there's nothing pulling up here. I see it's called Wisdom Trust. Let me check my Webull real quick. Give me a second on my phone. There's nothing I can show you. Oh, I think one of my kitties knew I was sad. The other one wants to come in. Do you want to come in? Hey, come on in. Oh, come on in. Hi. Oh, that was really nice, actually. Hey, I think EXT is a typo. Let me know, and I'll come back to it. SYM? No, let's look at EVTOL. EVTOL. Is it just Blade? EVTOL. Is there another typo there? What's Blade bring up? Let me know. I think I'm missing something. SYM. Yes, this one looks correct. SYM. Okay. Obviously, I see the gap here, and I think it's nice to say that this thing's been filling. This thing's all about the 100 moving average right now, right? This one's tough. This one, I would want to... I would need, I use something I call the 1 and the 2, right? It just has a couple more indicators. I see the 20 wanting to go up. I see the 8, not sure if it's going to go flat or down. I think overall, I'm seeing the 100 staying. Oh, man, this one's tough. I don't like drawing them on red candles. Let me back up a little bit. Where are you? Oh man, that's where we're at right now. You can kind of see it. It's the bottom of that, bottom top of that right there that I'm clicking. This is a very hard, I would need more indicators to give you, the emphasis here is this is 50-50. And this is either gonna shoot up to the 200 all the way at 35, or we're gonna lose this. You see it, red, 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 green, 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 right? This might come down to this is probably still maybe 25. I think 25 or 35 is the 50-50 coin. I would need another indicator or two to give me some thoughts. Because look, this ain't a bad RSI. This thing seems to go up, cool down, come up, cool down, go up, right? Maybe this is saying it's there. I think the volume is just a little too inconsistent I need just this one. This is an interesting one. I liked MRO a little more, I think, just because of the oil thoughts. But hey, this is a risk tolerance kind of ticker right here. You know what I mean? So let's look at game and AMC. And again, I'll work my way down if any of those typos were corrected. So, I mean, there's so much going on, right? To me, whenever I see 3 dojis out of 4 trading days, there's something happening. And look, I know game is the place where short squeezes and all the crazy thoughts come in. And I say crazy with love, you know that, right? There is a lot that can happen because again, you break all 5 and fly. If we were to fly here, I mean, it's there to fly, right? We've been in all 5 moving averages for what feels like half the year so far, right? So this is extremely tight. I think an interesting thought would be, hey, if elections get shady and crazy and this and that and blah, 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 maybe the memes will do something interesting, right? Because I've always sincerely believed if the S&P 500 is doing badly, if NASDAQ is doing badly, hold on, baby, give me 1 second. If Dow Jones is doing badly, normal good stocks will do well, and some interesting like shady ones, and I say again, shady with love, I love the shady, could do really well, right? So they now all need to leave the room. Bye, girls. Bye. So to me, I think this is an interesting place to look. I think these three Doge, at the bare minimum, these look, these look better than these 3 days, right? So they seem to be holding better than the indices. That alone is a good thing. I have to respect all. I see the golden cross. I see the golden cross. I ignore it because when all 5 lines are tight, you get these golden crosses that death quickly. Right? So I'm ignoring it until we get a golden cross with the 100. That will make a game a little more interesting. To me, can we lower this line? Yeah, we can lower that line. We can put it to there. Can I lower it more? I think that's too tight. That's our line. I think 2380 is the line. 28 and 45 are the next ones there. Crazy red, 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 green, 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 right? So that's game. Let's come into AMC. I think it's similar comments. I really do. Look, the lines aren't that tight. If this can break 460, it should make the move to 480. I think we can lower this to here. I like this line. Top of that, half of that, top of that. I think if this can break 5, AMC's got 750 after it. That's a 50% channel right there. You can probably draw a line around 560-ish, maybe even just the top right there. But look at this thing. Oh man, $5. Let's set an alert for 502 here. Again, an alert is not an immediate buy notification, right? But it's a come check it out. And I'll come check it out at 502 for sure. Until 502, you got to respect the lines, right? But again, same comment as the last one. If the indices are bad, most stocks will do bad. Maybe some interesting shady ones can do okay. And again, I say shady with love, all right? I like me some shady, all right? So I didn't get any corrections on the tickers. I've been doing this for like 37 minutes, so I think that's not too bad. I don't really like college football, so it's easy for me to do these on Saturday. Sunday's a little tougher. I am an NFL guy. I will get back to videos as usual. Hey, this was fun. I was really happy I did this. Enjoy the day, and I think that's the end of this thing. Hey, have a great one, everyone. Bye. Have I disconnected? There it is. Cool.